Welcome back, guys. We are here today to review our part 2 video of how to build a dining chair. I know in the video you're going to see that some parts have different clothes and whatnot, but to tell the truth, that's been a time lapse of over 3 different days. So without further ado, let's do some quick shout outs to my buddy Biscuit. Thank you for subscribing. NF Strive, thank you for subscribing. Dan Rico 1982, Jackie Rico, and Lalo Alvarez, thank you guys. Thank you, fam, for trying to support and showing more support. Hope the word does spread. And pretty much what we're going to be covering in this video is basically the seating area. I was able to cut the angles and pretty much shape it. It is a bit uncomfortable because it is flat, so I don't have a good I don't have more tools to work with, but we're working with what we got. Most of the assembly is done on the part 1, so go ahead and check that one out after you subscribe and like this video. And the staining process, you will see me rush through it. You will see me give some tips and whatnot, but it's up to you. Go and check them out. Stay tuned to get that good info. Alright guys, let's get to it. Alright guys, so here we have pretty much the entire chair fully assembled. I did have a minor mistake where these leg stretchers, one was higher than the other, giving the center support for the stretchers to look a bit off. This one and this one were off by ½ an inch, giving that effect of the wood actually being at an angle. So I had to cut up a little bit more. I want to say about 1/8 of an inch, and that was enough clearance to give me that distance that I needed to go ½ an inch. I did have to go and re-drill some holes. These are going to get covered up later on. The only thing we need to worry about now is the back braces and sanding the back. The only thing we got to worry about now is sanding this off, putting the back braces, and worrying about the seat. And then after that, once everything's nice and dried and whatnot, once everything's nice and sanded, we should be able to stain it and hopefully enjoy a bite tomorrow after it finishes curing. So right here what we have is the actual seating portion of it, and as you can see, I made the angles so that it reflects a 16-inch at the bottom end and come up to 18 inches. So the bottom is still gonna get cut off due to the fact that that's where we're gonna be putting that's what's gonna be resting onto the back legs. But first let's cut the angles on this one and then worry about the back corners to see where or how much we need to cut. Okay, cool. So here we have it, guys. We pretty much centered the seating area and marked off where the inside parts of the actual seating is going to be at, the back legs and the back of the seating area or seating plank. And now, since these are 2 inches thick, all we have to do is measure 2 inches from the back and cut it out. Pretty much just end up cutting about that much away from it. For the cutting portion of the back leg spaces, we're going to be using our Japanese saw. I
I just don't want to use the jig due to the fact that it bends and whatnot. So I'm just gonna go with the jig, this little idea. But make sure you do mark your travel lines on the back. Actually, on the drop off of the bag. That way you have a good guiding point. See, I just caught myself. I didn't even mark the other drop off. It's a good force of habit to do this. Trust me. You'll end up with a 45-degree cut or a 22.5-degree cut if you don't. Alright guys, pretty much with the Japanese saw, pole saw, I ended up cutting at an angle this leg already. So to cut this one off, what you want to do is we have two flat surfaces. You want to set your blade down. Now, I don't recommend putting your hand in here. The only reason why I don't want to take this one out is because I don't want to put more dings into it. But all you want to do is just lightly push forward using a finger and your hand to guide it. And then once you have it all set up, the hardest part is getting it started. Once you get it started, it's just paying attention to what you are cutting, the angle that you're going, and the direction that you want it to cut. Now, this bad boy, my table is a bit wobbly, so I actually have to do all this good stuff. Oh yeah. And look, nearly flush, nearly, maybe like a 1/16 away. But if we push it forward just enough, bam, like a glove. I used a brush to get as much of the dust off. I also used a random home rag to wipe off whatever particles were left behind by the dust. I did this twice and twice. So now, using a regular sponge brush, I'm going to start applying coats on this, giving them about 10 to 15 seconds to cure on each section that I run through. But for this one, I'm going to have to go rather quickly, okay? You want to go with the grain, not against the grain. With the grain. Once you've done one coat, try to get a lint-free rag. In this case, I have my 1-year-old's 3-month or 4-month shirt, which I'm going to use to wipe it. You will see the difference on on the front face that I'm gonna do next, between again with these parts. You definitely want to go with the grain. Go against it, man, it gives you this nasty look that you really do not want. Look at this. Both the stain and the seal are Varathane brand. The stain itself is American Walnut, and the seal is just oil-based spray-on. The alternative that I was going to go with as far as the sealer was going to be a Wapco water-based type that you just rub around, you know. Just you actually have to use some elbow grease and some quick sweat, but I was short on supplies with that, and on top of that, the sun beat me to it. This is pretty much the final product. I had a few minor drops from the sponge brush that I missed out because it was getting dark. But believe it or not, even though I did not see them until I was completely done, it builds character to it for some reason. So by far, I like it. I just don't like the fact that some of the wood was more dry than the other, and on top of that, some of the pieces of wood were more porous, so they actually got most of the stain and made them a lot darker. Now, I did catch myself a few times missing a few spots, but at the very end, I caught them, I corrected them, and now all we're waiting for is for this nice and easy setting of the oil-based stain. It's at least gonna be an overnight thing. I am not gonna leave it out here, but for right now, I'm letting it air out. Hopefully with this heat, with the light breeze that we have going on, and the cooling going on at the same time. So we got heat, cooling, and some breeze. Hopefully those three factors expedite the actual process. Okay guys, this is a chair. I still gotta make 3 more. But those you're not gonna get to see. You got to see this one. I'm happy with that. Hope you are too. This was a must. Alright, tune in next time. We might be doing some loading shelves, or some cell phone displays. I don't know, whatever comes up. But I know for sure in the list is floating shelves and a mailbox. So please subscribe, like, and leave your comments as you see fit. Okay? Catch you guys next time.